Friday, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was sworn in by the National Assembly for his third constitutional term. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump was found guilty of three-fourths of felony charges on Friday, but received no jail time, fines, or probation. And in Ecuador, the political and institutional crisis worsens. The Secretary of the National Assembly denounced President Noboa for making serious threats against him. Hello and welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Marrero from the teleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. We'll be with the news. Stay with us. On Friday, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was sworn in by the National Assembly for his third constitutional term. The president was received at the Federal Legislative Palace by the Venezuelan people and the President of the National Assembly, Jorge Rodriguez, who reaffirmed that the investiture for the 2025-2031 term represent an expression of the sovereignty of the people who democratically elect President Maduro on July 28, 2024. More than 2,000 international guests, 51 delegations from over 125 countries, and 13 dignitaries among head of state and government were present at the ceremony. During the swearing-in event, which was supported nationwide by demonstrations from various sectors of the population, President Maduro vowed this new presidential term will be one of peace, prosperity, equality, and of the new democracy.
This solemn session starts to express the sovereignty of the people of Venezuela, to enforce the supreme mandate that the people of Venezuela, its heroic women and men, granted last July 28, 2024, by electing citizen Nicolas Maduro Moros as constitutional president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. And that is the reason that brings us here today.
The President of the National Assembly then ratified the new presidency of Nicolas Maduro for the 2025-2031 term.
Nicolas Maduro Moros, may God, may the homeland, may our noble people reward you with their blessings. Otherwise, may God be your judge. You are hereby invested as constitutional president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Congratulations and a big hug, President.
Esta magna Asamblea Nacional, Poder Legislativo de la República.
Before this great National Assembly, legislative power of the Republic, before visitors and delegates from 125 countries, before the people of Venezuela, I swear by Huaycaipuro and indigenous peoples, I swear by Pedro Camejo, El Negro Primero, and José Leonardo Chirinos, I swear by Bolívar, by Sucre, by Urdaneta, by Manuela Sáenz, I swear by the eternal memory of our beloved chief and commander, Hugo Chávez, and I swear by the historic, noble, and brave people of Venezuela, before this Constitution, that I will comply with all its mandates, that I will comply with all the obligations of the Constitution and the laws of the Republic, and that this new presidential term will be the term of peace, prosperity, equality, and the new democracy. I swear by history, I swear by my life, and so I will comply, and we will comply. I swear.
Lo juro por la historia, lo juro por mi vida, y así cumpliré.
During the swearing-in ceremony, the Venezuelan head of state assured to be proud of carrying the presidential shine made by hands of the Venezuelan people.
It fills me with emotion to receive my presidential sash made by the hands of humble women from the neighborhoods of Caracas, made by the hands of artists. It is a special sash because it brings the blessings of the people. And I say to the people, here is your sash. This band was made by the people president, and now it is carried by the president people. And I will never fail you. I will never betray you. Know that I'm going forward with the hurricane and volcanic force of a people that wants a homeland, that wants a future, that wants peace.
Y volcánica de un pueblo que quiere patria.
The Venezuelan head of state also stressed his commitment to guarantee peace nationwide.
Y se confunda con nosotros. Dije que iba a haber paz.
Let no one be mistaken about us. I said there was going to be peace, and there is peace, and there will be peace. We are warriors of history, and we will guarantee peace and national sovereignty forever.
Por siempre.
The president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, highlighted the plan of the Seventh Transformation, designed by the people as a path to develop the nation for the next 6 years.
Que va a regir la patria.
This is the plan that will guide the homeland. The plan that will develop Venezuela in a multiform, harmonic, simultaneous way, towards prosperity and growth, equality and social happiness. It was made by the people, and synthesized by me, in my own handwriting, and it is the plan that will guide the next 6 years. We have the people, we have the presidency, we have the president, and we have a plan for the future, the plan of the great transformations, the plan of the 7 T's.
El plan de las 7 T.
After his turning in Germany, the president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, called all social sectors to a creative dialogue for the creation of a constitutional reform.
Yo convoco a todos los sectores económicos.
I call on all sectors, economic, political, ideological, cultural and social of the country, to hold a great day of inclusive and united dialogue, so that we can move forward together towards a great constitutional reform that will further democratize Venezuela.
Que democratice a Venezuela más.
Let's take a very short break, but we invite you to follow our special program dedicated to the upcoming presidential inauguration in Venezuela, only on teleSUR from January the 10th to the 11th at 21 p.m. Caracas time and 20 p.m. New York, Havana's, and Quito's time. Let's take a short break. Don't go away. Welcome back to From the South. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump
fue
of 34 felony charges on Friday for receiving no jail time, fines, or probation. The sentence results from the falsification of business records to hide the details of an extramaterial affair from voters in the lead-up to the 2016 presidential election. New York Court Judge Juan Merchan said the presidency chose Trump from more the strengthened punishment, a protection that he as an ordinary citizen or as a criminal defendant would not be entitled to. The sentencing marks the end of an unprecedented case that resulted in Trump's becoming the first former president convicted of a felony. He will be serving for a second term on January the 20th. Moving on, in the United States, the death toll rise to 10 and more than 10,000 structures burned after the active fires in Los Angeles since last Tuesday. The latest fatalities reported to the fire in the city of Palisades, an area where the average property value is around $3 million. According to the California Department of Fire Protection, today more than 11,000 hectares have been burned. In this regard, authorities have warned that the number of deaths might increase, and according to professional estimates, the material damage is between $135 and $150 billion. Recent information has confirmed the existence of a new fire known as Kenneth, which has quickly spread to some 320 hectares near the border of Los Angeles and Ventura. Kenneth has generated mandatory evacuation orders as well as considerable damage in several areas of the city and adds to the wave of active fires since January the 7th. The Palisades and Ethon fires remain uncontrolled, while authorities assured that a fire known as Sunset has been contained and has no cause of major structural damage. In Ecuador, the Secretary General to the National Assembly, Alejandro Muñoz, denounced on Friday the death threat made by President Daniel Noboa on the brink of elections and aimed at political and institutional crisis. Lately, the Ecuadorian President Daniel Noboa had filed a lawsuit against senior legislator Alejandro Muñoz before the Public Prosecutor's Office for an alleged usurpation of public functions. Noboa's allegations came after the parliamentarians rejected his proposed decree. Muñoz described such proposal as unconstitutional, as Noboa intended Vice President Abad not to replace him during his leave, suggesting to be outed by Gelibert. Afterwards, the president has pursued a coercive policy against Muñoz, making the latter feared for his safety and that of his family.
Ecuatorianos. Hoy he sido notificado con una denuncia penal.
Ecuadorians, I have been notified today of a lawsuit filed against me by the President of the Republic, Daniel Noboa. So the grounds of such complaint is for the alleged crime of simulation and usurpation of official functions due to the fact that yesterday I was strictly fulfilling my duties as Secretary General and by express disposition of the President of the National Assembly. I proceeded to notify the rejection of the Executive Decree No. 500, by means of which the President of the Republic requested a leave and proposed who shall oust him, arguing he was complying with the electoral campaign's procedures.
In Argentina, security forces and government officials carried out an operation to evict the Mapuche of Pailaco community settled in Los Arceles National Park, Chubut province. Dozens of vehicles and police forces entered this Thursday to evict the communities, which had initiated a process of territorial reformation in 2020 in lands that they had ancestrally occupied. The massive operation included the presence of top officials supported by Security Minister Patricia Bullrich, the Governor of Chubut Ignacio Torres, and the President of the National Park Administration. The officials celebrated measured as a victory for the right-wing government and anticipate that there will be more evictions. Several analyses describe the incident as a repressive show justified by the history of the internal enemy and the criminalization of the territorial claims of the Mapuche people. Let's take our last break, but before we invite you to visit our YouTube channel at teleSUR English, where you'll be able to watch an interview, sub-stories, special broadcasts, and more. Hit the subscribe button and active the notification bell to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. We find a short break, don't go away. Welcome back. A research published on Thursday in the medical journal The Lancet revealed that the death toll from Israel's genocidal war against the Palestinian people is far higher than current international estimates. Academics estimate that during the first 9 months of the conflict, the death toll from the war in Gaza will have been 64,260, significantly higher than the 37,877 deaths reported by the Palestinian authorities. This study is relied on Palestinian Ministry of Statistics and online survey and social media obituaries to estimate that there have been between 55,298 and 78,525 deaths from traumatic injuries in Gaza at that time. It is important to note that the group of researchers estimate that 59% of the deaths composed of women, children, and the elderly, and that the figure referred only to deaths from traumatic injuries without including the other causes of death. Poland requests the government to ensure that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu participates in the liberation of the Auschwitz concentration camp and it is not detained for war crimes in Gaza. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk said that whether it is his counterpart, the president or the education minister of Israel, whoever becomes to wish for the Auschwitz commemorations, can be assured that they will be safe and will not be detained. In November, the International Criminal Court issued a arrest warrant for Netanyahu and his former defense minister, Yoav Gallant, as well as Hamas commander Ibrahim al-Marsi, also known as Mohammed Deif, on charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity, named the genocidal operation in Gaza. In South Korea, the head of the Presidential Security Service, Park Chung-yoon, testified on Friday before the agency investigating President Yoon Suk-yeol. In his statements, Park assured that there should be no physical confrontations or bloodshed under any circumstances, referring to the tense moments between the corruption investigations for high-ranking officials and the Presidential Security Service. In reference to Yoon's current situation, Park considered that although the president was dismissed by the parliament on December 14 for his failed declaration of martial law, he is on paper still the head of the state and government until the Constitutional Court determines whether or not And now we have come to the end of this brief. You can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net, and also join us on our socials. We're on Facebook, X, and on Instagram as well. Now we'll leave you with the winners of the reality show Factor M, winners of the son of the campaign of President Nicolas Maduro. For Telesur English and from the South, I'm Ana Marrero. Thank you for watching.
¡Hey! ¡Venezuela! ¡Nos fuimos arriba! ¡Esta es mi patria querida! 2, 1, ¡brinca! Revolución con Nicolás. Revolución con Nicolás. El pueblo unido está en la lucha. Con Nicolás hacemos historia. El pueblo unido está en la lucha. Vamos para adelante con Nicolás. El pueblo unido está en la lucha. Con Nicolás hacemos historia. El pueblo unido está en la lucha. Vamos para adelante con Nicolás. Pa'lante Nicolás. Yo juro con Maduro, presidente de la paz. Pa'lante Nicolás. Por el pueblo, por la vida, un sentimiento nacional. El pueblo en la calle dice presente. Escucha, presidente, somos su gente. Estamos en la batalla contra la oligarquía, defendiendo la patria mía como Bolívar. El pueblo unido está en la lucha. Con Nicolás hacemos historia. El pueblo unido está en la lucha. Vamos para adelante con Nicolás. El pueblo unido está en la lucha. Un canto por la América Unida. Mira, que lo escuchan ahí arriba. ¡Vamos! Somos la tierra, somos la arcilla, la esperanza que brota y germina. 500 años nos han pisoteado, aquí seguimos, de aquí no nos vamos. América.